does look like the clock is getting our attention. It's about time for us to begin. And so I will call to order the oldest Lions Club in the world. And thank you all for joining. My name's Rudy Munguia. I'm the president of the club. And again, my pleasure to welcome everyone today. So who is our Zoom host today?
That will be me.
Oh, okay. And would you do our normal reminder of the Zoom procedures, please?
Yeah, just a quick reminder. Everybody has the ability to unmute themselves, but we ask you that you keep yourselves muted while the meeting is going on, so we reduce the background noise. Other than that, that's pretty much it. So whenever you're not speaking, mute yourself, please. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you. And so we're going to proceed then and with our Pledge of Allegiance. And if, as you're able, would you please stand? And I will lead the Pledge of Allegiance and followed by the pledge to the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now to the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Thank you very much. All right. And now we might want to take a moment to recognize any visitors that might be joining us today. Our speaker is here and we'll introduce the speaker in just a moment. But Greg, did you want to say a word?
Yeah. Yeah, we have another guest from Leader Dogs for the Blind, Lion Kathleen Breen is joining us. You can give a wave there. Kathleen works in the Lions office at Leader Dog in Michigan and is the Lions events and logistics coordinator. She was instrumental in providing us with the materials we used for our auction a few weeks ago and in arranging for our speaker today. So I'm happy to have her join us today.
Thank you, Greg, and welcome to Lion Kathleen. Happy to have you.
I also have a guest.
Oh, yes. Okay, go ahead, please.
My guest is Alex Arguello, and he is our Texas School for the Blind and Visually Impaired Community Engagement Specialist. So he has taken over Gloria Bennett's place. So
okay. All right. Well, welcome to Alex. Happy to have you join us for our Lions Club today. Anyone else? Anyone else have a guest?
You have your grandson, Lucas.
Oh, yes. Julian.
No, the other one.
Oh, is Lucas on?
Yes.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, sorry, Lucas. I didn't quite catch up with all that. Let me.
He's right there, but he needs to.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see you've got a big L there. So Lucas has been with us in other meetings and is going to be part of our agenda. So give a special welcome to Lucas. Glad to have you, Lucas. All right, I think we're ready to proceed unless we have, I think we've covered, allowed time for all our guests. Okay, thank you. And here's our other guest. Here's our little 4-year-old Julian. Okay.
Oh, nice.
There he is. All right. For announcements, let me move on with the agenda for announcements. Just a reminder that tomorrow, Friday, we have another service project, and that will be our service at Meals on Wheels. That's from 8:15 to 11 there at the Meals on Wheels office. Leonor, if I may, do you have the numbers or how many we've had signed up so far?
Yeah, I think that 12 people will be there tomorrow.
Oh, fantastic.
That's a good turnout.
We were looking for at least 10. 12 there will always make room for 12 and even more if anybody else wants to join us. My other announcement is that we have a board meeting following this meeting, and that will begin at 1:45 this afternoon. So we have our board meeting today. Mac Ragsdale also has an announcement, and so Mac, if you will, please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Rudy. Yeah, I have some exciting news. This is a report from the Opening Up Committee. I want to remind you that includes Ann Ward, Mark Hastings, Patty Robinson, Glenda Summers, Leonore Marquez, and myself. So as many of you know, the CDC eased up guidelines, and we're now in stage 2, and that means that you can attend private meetings unmasked if you have been vaccinated, and with masks if you're unvaccinated or partially vaccinated. And so we'd kind of been expecting that. Many people have been wanting to get back together in person. So we've got a schedule for a social gathering, and this would be at Central Market a week from today, May 27th. There will be an announcement coming out, but mark your calendar. 1 week from today at Central Market, that'd be from 4:30 to 6:30. And then our very first in-person meeting for a long time at Rudy's Barbecue on June 24th. And that is the installation of officers meeting. And that will be at Rudy's Barbecue on June 24th. You know, there'll be announcements coming out about those, but I do want to say that that's pending board approval. So we're looking for board approval on that, and we'll let you know what happens, but be looking for those announcements. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mac. That is exciting news. And so next week we'll have our first social gathering and get more information on that. As Mac says, he'll be sending more information on that. Okay. We're moving on in our agenda, and I'm going to ask Lucas if you are ready to come on and give us an update on the Texas Lions Camp project that you're working on. So if you're ready, can you go ahead and start your presentation, please?
Yes, so last week I told y'all about my project for the Texas Lions Camp, and behind me I have some examples of what I've done. I have 2 of these shelves that I've made for them. I have 1 of these trees that I've made for them that I'm going to donate to the Texas Lions Camp. As I explained a few weeks ago, they want also toy guns, which I've built the purpose of these for. So, I built them so you can knock them around. And that's what I've been doing for the past few weeks. In total, I remember y'all donated or pledged about $700. I've only spent about $350. So there's room for me to improve these. I mean, they're not perfect, and I would still like to spend the rest of the money in improving them and buying the camp more toy guns. So this is just kind of an update and kind of like showing you what I've done and what I've been able to do.
All right, Lucas, that looks exciting. You have a right-handed and left-handed gun, I know, and but let me just take a moment and ask if anyone has any questions for Lucas and the young builder, Lucas. Anybody have any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
Lucas, did you have to drink all those bottles of Coca-Cola?
No, I have a lot of Coke that my family drinks, and so split between all of us.
All right.
I have a comment. Lucas, you might be better able to hit those targets if you would get some pictures of the Lions Club member and stick them on the target.
Maybe might motivate.
Hey, what? Be careful now. This is getting a little bit personal, JP. So, anyone else have a comment or a question? But
Well, Lucas, would you make one for the Lions Club for us so we could have one in our meetings? That'd be fun.
I'll see how much stuff I have left over, and I'll try and make one.
That would be a lot of fun.
well, Lucas, let me just kind of see if we understand what you're saying. Thank you very much, first of all, for those projects. But I believe you're saying that you're still working on them. And
yes,
that,
I'm still working on them. I plan to deliver these to the camp by next week.
Wow. Well, that's exciting. And so you have spent about how much on where you are now?
$350.
Okay.
So I still have plenty of money to make all these, make more.
And but you still have some more expenses, you think?
Mm-hmm. Like, for example, they also asked for me to donate a bunch of these toy guns, and I only have one, so I can buy a few more. They cost anywhere from like $50 to $20, which means I can get a whole lot. Because I remember they're asking for these, and as someone who grew up playing with these kind of toy guns, I know which ones are the best ones. I know that they need a lot of ammo. I know what to go buy.
Okay, well, I'm glad you have that memory and that experience. We in the Lions Club have also memories of our young days, but they were maybe not as modern as the ones that are at the store now. But okay, well, thank you very much.
May I ask a question?
Oh, yes.
May I ask a question? Lucas, have you given any thought to how you would have somebody who's visually impaired use those games?
So
you might want to think about that.
I was thinking about this a lot when I was making all these, and I emailed, when I got in touch with the people at the Lions Camp, I asked them, are you sure this is what you want? This is what you want for the Texas Lions Camp, which is known to like host events for visually impaired people. And they said, yes, we're sure. Because I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but they have a plan. My job was just to put this together.
All right. Okay, and if you'll notice, he is well attired with the Texas Lions Camp Workday t-shirt. So yeah, all right. Well, extra points for Lucas for being well attired. Okay, I believe we want to say thank you again to Lucas, and good luck with your remaining amount of work that is done, and safe travels to the camp. So you think the camp will have them next week? Is that correct?
I plan to get them at the latest, be out there by next week.
All right. Okay. All right.
Question.
Oh, it looks like we do have one more question here.
Do you think Lucas could come try it out to make sure that they work well? I mean, that Julian.
I'll have people come over and test it. He can be one of them.
Okay.
All right.
He's ready.
Yeah, the line forms around the corner. Okay, we need to get back to our agenda. So Lucas, again, thank you for taking time to join us today and the update. Okay, thank you, everyone. That's kind of a fun thing to do and to work into our agenda. So, but we're ready to move on, and I want to recognize some birthdays. We have today, May 20th, the birthday for Mac Ragsdale. So Mac was already on, and we want to recognize Mac and say happy birthday. And then coming up in a few days on May the 24th, we have Mark Hastings. So happy birthday to Mark.
Yeah, I've got my party hat on.
Oh, I like that. All right. Well, you better be careful about, your head looks like it's gotten already too big for that hat. So be careful. That extra year of birthday sometimes does that. But anyway, happy birthday to Mark. Happy birthday to Max. Now we're Judy Jones was on at the beginning to say hello to everybody. And now we're going to go back to Judy because we have we've asked that she do a member profile today and tell us a little bit about herself. So Judy, if you will, please, let's see what is happening with Judy. Go ahead, please.
And can you unmute yourself, Judy?
Yeah,
Oh,
I just did. I just got the word. I've done it. Okay. I got this list of questions I'm supposed to answer about myself. So first off, where am I from? I'm an Austin native. I was born at the old St. David's Hospital in 1947. You can do the math and know how old I am. And I grew up right along the Mopac at Enfield Road. First 10 years of my life, I was on the east side, and the first 3 years of school, first 4 years of school, I went to Pease Elementary. And then in the summertime, we moved just directly 2 blocks away, seated in the same position streetwise, but west. And so, of course, Mopac didn't exist then. It was just the railroad tracks. But so I lived right there off of Enfield Road all of my growing up years. And okay, then it says, what was your career path? Very varied, and did a lot of different things. I dropped out of UT to get married and put my first husband through medical school. So I never got my degree finished, my bachelor's, but I did a lot of different secretarial things. And for several years, just took care of business for the family. And my family business was the Whitley Printing Company. And we did ink on paper, everything from business cards to books to fine art prints. And I was the first female printing salesman in Austin. And so I was breaking new ground there. And then at some point, I felt the call, actually very late in life, to go to seminary and become an Episcopal priest, which I did. And, finished up my education and did that. And was active in the ministry for about 10, 11 years, and then had some health issues. And my husband my dear Lewis had already been talking to the bishop about getting me closer to home, because I was driving 40 miles one way from Hayes County up to Pflugerville to my little mission church. And he just wanted me closer to home. And so I went ahead and retired, and I do supply work occasionally, but that's about it. And let's see, when did I become involved in the Lions Club? Well, I've been trying to count it up, and I'm not sure. I know y'all have a record of it somewhere, and I probably do too, but it's been at least 6 years, maybe 7. And I came into the Lions Club because Terry Heller was my very best friend from diaper days, was very active in this organization. And she's still a member, I understand, but she's living in Maine now. And so we don't see her that much, but that's how I got involved. And I have loved every single minute of it. And says, which fundraising and or service projects do I participate in? Well, I was trained and do the kids site testing. And let's see, I will be there tomorrow for the Meals on Wheels thing. And there was something else, but I didn't write it down. I can't remember. But anyway, I love all of y'all. Look forward to getting to know the new people. And I'm really excited about getting together in person. And I love the fact that we do good works for a lot of different people and organizations. And that's all I have to say.
All right, Judy, thank you so much. you're in the right club. If you're into the service in the community, I think you have the right fit for being a Lion and in our Lions Club. And we're delighted to have you as a member. And thank you for that member's profile. So
Sure.
excellent. All right. Well, having a good meeting, and we're gonna get into the main part of our meeting now, and that is our program and our speaker. And to introduce our speaker,
Rudy, Tommy has his hand up.
oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm not seeing anything now. Yeah, Tommy, go ahead.
I noticed that Ann Ward appears to be on here. Is Ann active? Is Ann alive on this Zoom?
Yes.
All right, you want to tell them a little bit about Celia Buechner, who has the triplets that we're going to be testing this evening that are unable to speak. They're a very unique situation. You go ahead and tell them what you set up for me.
Okay, thank you. Celia, she has triplets and they're 6 years old. 2 of them are special needs children and they are not verbal. And Celia talked to Robin Huxler. Some of you will remember Robin. She was a member of our club and she works with the Medicaid program. She thought that perhaps we could help because the children, Celia has taken her children to the eye doctor, but the eye doctor can't communicate with the children. And so she's not sure if the kids are actually what their problems are. So Robin contacted me, asked if we could use our spot camera to test these children. And so Tommy has graciously agreed to go to Celia's home this evening and is going to test all 3 of the children and print out the report. And then the mother can take those reports to the eye doctor and hopefully identify what her children's vision issues are. So thank you very much, Tommy, for being willing to do that.
Wow. Well, that's wonderful. Another special service provided by our Lions Club members. And you may have mentioned this, but what are the age of the children?
They're 6.
Okay. All right. Okay. Very young. So thank you, Tommy, for making yourself available and wanting to provide this service to these triplets. It's wonderful. So I believe we need to take to get back to our agenda and look at our program. And so Lion Greg, if you are ready, would you introduce our speaker and our program, please?
Sure. I'm really excited to introduce our guest speaker today. Lion Elizabeth Liz Fryseth is proud to call Wisconsin her home for some reason. Born and raised in different counties, she now lives in western Wisconsin with her husband, children, leader dog Ellie, and retired leader dog Bennett. Liz is a youth mentor and a motivational speaker. She's committed to ensuring kids have a great start in life. She serves her community on various committees and is very active in her Lions Club. As a Lion, Liz serves as the leader dog chair for her district. Please join me in welcoming leader dog Ellie and Lion Liz Fryseth, and as I understand, her daughter Lillian behind the scenes. Liz?
Everybody, thank you, Lion Greg, for the wonderful introduction, and thank you for welcoming me to your Lions Club today. You guys do wonderful work, and I really have enjoyed your meeting so far. A little bit about me. I was born with retinopathy of prematurity. I was born 3.5 months early. And so I've had a visual impairment my whole life. And little did I know that it would sneak back into my life later on. I have 3 beautiful children, and I wouldn't trade the world for them. But after each child was born, I lost more and more vision. And after my last daughter was born in 2015, I had noticed, you know, a significant change, and it was deteriorating. And when that happened, I just chalked it up to being a new mom. But little did I know that wasn't the actual, sorry, it's my clock. That was the actual thing that was going on. So during that time, I had attempted to go back to work. I was a CNA for 15 years and was working within a facility for the last 9. And I went from being a caregiver to not typically a patient, but needing help myself. In a short time span after my maternity leave, I had went from getting around and doing things to I had lost my job. I had to give up my license. I was afraid to move around in my own environment, which was scary. I had never had that happen before. And at my eye appointment, they had told me, I'm sorry, there's nothing that can be done. There's no pill, there's no surgery, there's nothing. Here's a phone number and good luck. And that phone number was to a local state agency for rehabilitative services, which I was told then there wasn't adequate funding in the budget for O&M training, so orientation and mobility, and try back again in July or August and good luck. And I froze and I didn't know where to turn. And the Lions Club, I had heard helped people, and that was the first phone call I made. And the person that picked up the phone actually happened to be not only the president, but the leader dog chair for the district I lived in. And he assured me, it will only get better from here. Don't worry. And those were the words I just kept keeping in my mind. They encouraged me. They helped me with my application. They offered to take the video to enable me to go to leader for my orientation mobility, which I was accepted into the program in April of 2016 and went for my week. And it was absolutely life-changing. It gave me the confidence I needed to not just be more independent in my own life, but to help my children, to do daily things, to get back to normal. At that point, I didn't know if I would be ready to jump in to the guide dog lifestyle, because it is a lifestyle and it is a choice. And so I thought, I'm going to learn my skills and I'm going to be better so that way I can accomplish the summer with my children. So that summer, I had almost a 1-year-old at that point, a 5-year-old, and an 8-year-old. And if that doesn't keep me busy, I didn't know what did. But it was so instrumental because where I lived was a small, semi-rural town with little to no transportation. And this was before Uber and Lyft became huge. And so it was critical that I had skills to go to the park, which was half a mile, 3/4 of a mile away, and to the bus stop, which was almost a mile. I had decided July of that same year to apply for a guide dog. I felt I'm ready. I'm going to do this. You know, life will change again. I was given the phone call that every applicant hopes to hear, and prospective client, that I will get to go to Leader for 26 days and meet my new life partner. So I received that phone call in the end of July, and I was scheduled to go in the first week of September of that year. And results do vary, and pre-pandemic life, I like to think I'm pretty lucky, because it doesn't happen like that for everyone. But I was fortunate, and the one story I always like to tell is the week before I left for class. It was the last full week of summer, and I thought it would be really nice to take my kids downtown for a picnic, and to enjoy the splash pad. And the road that I frequently traveled every single day mirrored a highway. So they ran completely side by side, and traffic wasn't anything on our side road because it was just empty pretty much all the time. We had worked our way out. To get out of the house, I had my hands full. I pulled behind a stroller, I used my cane, and I had 2 kids holding on to the stroller, so I knew that everyone was safe. And I go to cross the street, and I make the decision, I'm safe, I'm ready to go. And I go to cross the street, and all of a sudden I'm being pulled back by my 8-year-old Lillian, who happens to be behind the camera today, and says, "Don't go, there's a car coming." That was the moment I knew a guide dog was right for me. I had made the best decision of my life. I went to training for the 26 days. I was lucky to receive Ellie. She was a prison-raised dog, but that doesn't have any bearing on puppy-raised or prison-raised. Every dog is special and wonderful. And I'm grateful for the gift that I was given, because truly she lets me lead my life of independence that I choose. We had came home, and I was getting ready for spring, and I was working on, I was kind of crazy at that time. I decided to do a 5K. So I was training, walking it, because I needed practice. And we were traveling down that same road, and the road happens to have no sidewalk or gutter. And all of a sudden, my dog is pulling me to the left, closer and closer to the highway on my left, and I'm trying to correct her. And all of a sudden I hear, "Woo!" And I froze and panicked because I didn't know what was going on. And I stopped, and about 2 minutes later, I had a cop asking me if I was okay, if I was fine, if I needed anything. And I'm going, "I'm fine, what's going on?" And it was an inattentive driver. I'm not sure if he was drinking or paying attention to his phone or what was going on, but my life was saved because of my dog. sorry. It still gets me. I trust her with everything. She's amazing. So I can't say enough about that. When we moved, I'm sure some of you are wondering, well, if she's your first guide dog, how did you get Leader Dog Bennett? So when I had moved to the southern part of the state, I had joined a Lions Club in my area, and because of Leader Dog and the friends and connections that I made, will always last a lifetime. When I had moved, I had a close and dear friend and Lion who was a mentor and advocate and truly a wonderful person, helped me. And you know, life can be not fair. And he became ill, and we said, you know, as Lions, we serve and we help our neighbors, we help our friends, we help our community, and we help globally. And I didn't hesitate and said, don't worry about it. I will take care of him until you can have him back. And unfortunately, that didn't happen well for him. He passed away, and so Bennett retired. When after I had moved and got settled and everything had happened, I started mentoring classrooms of children. I work closely with the special education children at our local elementary school, and we do a meditation mentor program. And then also I do books with Bennett. It gives him a purpose, and I get some really good stories out of the deal, and I get to hear all the good new books for kids. So I figure it's a win-win. And that is my Leader Dog experience. If it weren't for Leader Dog helping me get O&M and a guide dog, I wouldn't be able to lead the life of independence and the opportunity for wonderful friendships and everything. So I always like to say that in every heart of a Leader Dog beats because of a Lion. It's your generosity, time, and commitment to the organization. And I'd like to thank you for this opportunity and allowing me to be here today. Thank you so much.
Excellent.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And would you be open for some questions from our members? Okay, thank you. And so, Leonard, I'm asking you to please monitor the screen, and let's have some questions, please.
Sure, can you, okay, Roberto, go ahead, please unmute yourself.
The first question is your children, how did they get involved and help you there?
As far as after I came home or before I left?
After you get home with be part of the dog in your eventual life there.
Sure. So when I came home, my husband and I sat down with our children, and the easiest way I could explain it was, when she's home, she's a dog, you can love on her, you can and do whatever you would like. But when we're out working, I kind of enlisted them like the Secret Service. And so she keeps me safe and they keep her safe. And it was really funny because one day we went to Walmart and somebody went, "Oh, what a cute dog." And my kids were like, "Don't touch my mom's dog." It was adorable.
Rachel, go ahead, please.
Hi, Liz. Thanks for your story. Really, really fascinating. Could you elaborate a little bit on the prisoner dogs? What role do they play exactly? It sounds like a great program. I'm not familiar with it.
Sure. It is a puppy program that's run by Leader. I don't have all the specifics about it, but what I can tell you is that they allow dogs into correctional facilities. They raise the dog, and then with the help of puppy counselors and Leader dog staff to turn them in, and then hopefully turn into guide dogs. So I really don't have a lot about that.
I can
I
jump
got
in
a
little
question,
bit.
Eleanor.
Go ahead, Sam.
Okay. In the training that you said about 28 weeks or so, how is it, if you can tell us quickly, how is it determined that this dog is really suited for you? Do you look at other dogs? Do you have 4 or 5 others and so on? How do they select this one that's supposed to be suited for you?
Sure. So it's about a 26-day program, and I know it's changed since then. How do I know if the dog's right for me? I don't. When I do an application, I have to submit a video of my pace, how fast I walk, what I'm looking for in a partner, and that video is forwarded on to trainers who make the determination of, I think we have a great fit for this person. And then when you go for training, it's my understanding they're checking to see if it would be a good match. I have no idea if Ellie was my one and only or if they had a backup, but I am beyond grateful for whoever made that call because she is perfect.
I don't see any other hands going up.
I have another question.
Okay, go ahead.
How is it easy for Ellie to kind of turn it on and turn it off? And how does she know when she's on duty?
So basically a lot of the times I see it as I ask her if she wants to work every day. I haven't had a day yet that she said no. But a lot of times when she knows her harness is on, it's night and day. I'm sure my daughter could tell you, you know, she's playful and rambunctious, and then the minute the harness is on, it's all business. So.
That's all
Eleanor,
amazing. Yeah.
Hey, Rudy, I got one other comment.
Go ahead.
Roberto first.
There's a
Sorry.
Lions-
Okay, go ahead, Sam, and then Roberto and John Niefler, please.
Okay, there is a Lions Club. I don't know whether it's in Ohio or California, but they have already found that through the Lions Club that there's a dog, several dogs that they've trained that they can actually smell the blood and determine whether the man's diabetes is very, very high. In other words, if his A1C is high, 10, 8, 12, they're now able that her dog is able to detect just by smelling the blood whether she's got a problem or not. And I thought that was very interesting. It's being sponsored by a Lions Club.
Very interesting.
Roberto, you had a question?
Do you use the sign language and the voice to guide your dog? Or how you?
I don't know sign language, but I do use hand commands.
Yeah, hand. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about. You're commanding by hand. Okay.
Yeah. I use hand commands and voice. So.
John, go ahead.
Yes, many of us are dog owners as well, kind of standard dogs, not service dogs. But the question is, what kind of special veterinary services do you need to have for a service dog such as yours, other than what might be expected of a standard garden variety dog when you go to the vet?
Sure. I really haven't had any anything extra. I know they have service dog eye exams, but I haven't ever had one of those done. My veterinarian is just a normal veterinarian. Nothing special.
From that point of view, it's a dog.
That's right. Yep.
Greg, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I was I was just going to follow up on a couple of things. For those of you that don't know, I am a puppy raiser for leader dogs. In fact, my puppy Daisy is sleeping at my feet now. Was just going to mention on the vet for the clients, when the dog is issued, as Liz said, it's a normal dog health regimen. They get their checkups. But I was going to highlight that Leader Dog has a pretty extensive veterinary medicine program on the campus at Leader Dogs for the Blind, so that puppy raisers that are close to Rochester get those vet services for the puppies as they're being raised in their first year and a half of life. They also do a thorough examination of all the puppies that come in for training when they're about a year and a half old, to ensure that they're structurally and mechanically sound, that they're healthy, that they don't have any extraordinary health issues that might make them a high maintenance dog for someone to have to care for before they even go into the training program. So it's a pretty extensive screening process that they go through to make sure that we're issuing healthy dogs to the clients when they leave Leader Dog. I was also going to see if I think Lion Kathleen is still on. I don't have my gallery view yet. I didn't know if she wanted to say a few words more about the prison training program. I know just enough about it to say it's a prison training program. That's about it. But Kathleen, can you add anything to that?
Good morning. Thank you. Yes, we actually place the puppies in local prisons. We actually are in about 14 different prisons here in Michigan, one in Minnesota and one in Iowa, which is where the program started. The inmates are selected because they have great behavior and they're willing and interesting to do the program. And they do exactly what Greg is doing. They spend the entire day training and teaching their dog the basic skills it needs to for obedience and follow through. And then when it comes, and so then they bring the dogs, or they don't bring the dogs, we bring their dogs back and they start in the program. So they have strong obedience skills, and it's a win-win. It changes the environment of the prison to have the puppies around. It gives the prisoners a vocational training, if you will. Many of them come out of prison and then do their own dog training or whatever. And it's just sort of a win-win all the way around. So it helps us balance our, what we call outside prisoners like Greg, and inside prisoners, outside puppy raisers. Greg can be both, I guess. Huh?
Thank you. Thank you, Kathleen.
And thank you all for this opportunity today too. It's been wonderful.
I think we still have one question, Mim.
Yes, I'd like to meet your dogs. Can you put them up so that we can see them on Zoom?
Is she talking to me or Greg?
Yep. You, Liz.
Oh, okay. Ellie, stand. Come. Sit. Sit. Close. Close. Oh. Come. Can you see her?
Now, is that one Ellie?
This is Ellie, yes.
The yellow and then the black?
Bennett is black.
Bennett.
Yeah, Bennett.
Hi, Ellie. How Bennett?
Bennett, come. So are you?
So you have the two dogs now?
Yes. So Ellie is actively working. Bennett is fully retired and living his best dog life. Aren't you, Ben?
JP, you had a question?
Well, yes, a question and comment in response to Rachel's question earlier about does the dog know they're working? And Kathleen, you might correct me if I'm wrong, but when I visited the Leader Dog facility in Rochester a number of years ago, it was pointed out that part of the training of the dog before the client ever gets there is responding to the harness and understanding that when the harness is on, they're not to be playing. So that really is a signal to the dog when it's time to go, in addition to verbal commands, that when the harness is put on, the dog knows that they're to be working then. Is that correct still?
Yes.
That is. See, Kathleen and Liz said yes too, and we also start some of that orientation as they're puppies. We have a vest that we use for training, both to indicate that they're service dogs in training as we go about the community, but also to get the puppy used to the fact that when they're wearing that vest, when they have something on, that there's a different level of behavior expected. But that's exactly right, JP. That's how they know they're working.
And the public is usually alerted to that. I've seen on many harnesses, vests, that I'm working, please don't pet me, or something like that.
Right.
So it's very tempting when you're out in the public and you see a nice looking dog to want to reach down and stroke them or scratch them or something. But yeah, please don't do that, because it's confusing the dog then, wondering what's going on. I'm supposed to be working, not playing. So.
Good point.
Back to you, Rudy.
All right. Well, thank you again to Lion Liz and to Leader Dog Ellie for a very fascinating and informative program today. So, and it makes us kind of want to pat ourselves on the back for being a line, providing this type of service to those that are disabled with vision, and so that the dog can be trained and provide that help. So Lion Liz, thank you so much. Lion Kathleen, thank you for joining us. And to Lion Greg, thank you for helping arrange this wonderful program today. Well, we have just a moment, and we want to get back to our agenda. And for next week, we have Lion John Niefler that will be bringing us our program. So John, if you're there, can you tell us about next week's program, please?
I'm happy to do so. Thank you very much. Next week, we will have as our guest and speaker, Michael Carson. He is retired United States military. He is a member of Round Rock Lions Club, and he is director of Outreach Combat Veterans and First Responders. Michael will offer our Memorial Day tribute with us next week. Michael will share his experience as in a profoundly traumatic life as a combat veteran, and the time in his life following that experience. We will be acquainted better with the price that we expect our military men and women to pay for their service to our nation. I will promise you that you will be engaged in some special ways and moved by Michael Carson's presentation to us next week. So look forward to being there to hear Michael Carson. Thanks.
Thank you, John. And we look forward to that program. I might add that next week, in addition to our special speaker and program, we also are scheduling our own Lion Alan Ford to bring us a little bit more of a Memorial Day message, how our Lions Club has been involved in Memorial Day activities, and so we look forward to that. This brings us to the close of our meeting. Want to thank everyone for joining us, and need to give a shout out to Lion Leonor. Leonor May is recovering from a hospital stay this week. She doesn't give much of a hint as that anything like that has happened. But Leonor, thank you for being again a little example of a superwoman to our Lions Club and to our meeting today. So I hope you are feeling better.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, that certainly is good news. And so with this, we have completed our agenda. Look forward to next week's meeting, and wish everyone happy rest of the day. And with this, our meeting is adjourned. Thank you to all.